I want to look at George A. Romero's Resident Evil film that we never got. I'm going to talk about the tone, direction, and casting for the film. George A. Romero has had a massive influence on the Resident Evil games, and was also selected as a director for the Resident Evil 2 commercials. The commercials were very impressive. It's obvious that the budget was limited in these advertisements, but the tone of the game is very much intact. There's a good effort at the character costume designs, and you can feel the sense of danger for the characters. George A. Romero could have done something incredible with a bigger budget. George had developed a connection with Capcom, and the advertisements for the game allowed gamers to see George A. Romero's vision for a full-length movie. George was selected as the director of the film, which was set to be released in time with Resident Evil Nemesis. George played the game with his son, and also got his secretary to play the game, as well to gather additional notes on the game. George A. Romero's script had been released online, and it has received mixed opinions. The script that was released was a first draft, and was written in just 6 weeks. I read the script, and I was amazed how accurate it was to the original game. It does have some changes. Chris and Jill are in a relationship. Chris is also a Native American who is not a member of the STARS unit. Ada Wong features in the script and is a scientist. Barry and Wesker were war buddies. A lot of character deaths are a lot more brutal than in the original game, and Barry was African American in the script. What makes the script impressive is that it features all the BOWs from the original game. The Tyrant is also the final creature, and is just as deadly as it is in the first game. The tone of the film would have been a lot darker than the Paul W.S. Anderson film, and the film would have certainly got an R rating. The film would have been a lot more horror-based, rather than the action-packed movie that we got from Paul W.S. Anderson. One thing I hate about the Resident Evil movie is that it spent very little time in the actual mansion. In the movie they go straight to the underground lab. What I loved about the first game was the interior and exterior of the mansion, and George A. Romero really does a good job exploring the mansion in his script. The rumoured cast for the film suggested a possible second and third draft was written, as quite a lot of actors match the game characters. Jason Patric was considered for Chris Redfield, and I must say he looks remarkably like Chris from the first game. Jennifer Love Hewitt was considered as Rebecca Chambers, and Samantha Mathis was considered for Jill. In the first draft, I thought Tony Todd, who played Ben in the Night of the Living Dead remake, was written for the role of Barry, but John C. Reilly was considered for the part of Barry. The casting of John further suggests that a more accurate second draft was written. Bruce Payne was also considered for Albert Wesker. Tom Savini was rumoured to do the makeup on the zombies. Andrew Kevin Walker, the writer of Seven and Sleepy Hollow, was brought on to rewrite the script. George A. Romero was dropped as a writer and was just a director for the film. George A. Romero was eventually dropped from the project, and Jamie Blank, who directed Urban Legend, was considered as a replacement. Rumour has it that George A. Romero was removed from the film because they didn't like the script, but I feel they were working with a modest budget, and George's vision was far too ambitious. His vision contained a lot of characters, and all the BOWs from the first game. Other rumours suggest that they wanted to focus on a script that would introduce Resident Evil to a newer audience. It's a real shame we couldn't get to see this film, as George A. Romero was a massive inspiration for the gaming franchise, and he had a better understanding for the Resident Evil series than Paul W.S. Anderson. That's all, folks. What do you think of George A. Romero's vision for the film? Put your opinion in the comments section, and thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like what you see.